Hi everyone. This is going to be a tutorial for how to utilize a budget using Google Sheets. You'll notice I'm in my Google Drive. You can use this by typing in drive.google.com and signing into your Google account. Once you're on your Google Drive, you'll notice on the left side of the screen the New button. Click on the New button and hover over Google Sheets. The arrow in that row will show us a blank spreadsheet and form a template. We're going to form a template. You'll notice a variety of different spreadsheets or different types of accounting software here in this Google Drive template planner. You can use these for a wide array of different things. Okay, we are going to use monthly budget. When the monthly budget pulls up, you'll notice that there are certain areas that you can edit and certain areas that you are not allowed to. This is based on the use of Google's spreadsheet format. You can change the name of your monthly budget to whatever month that you're in, or you can leave it monthly budget. You'll notice here, where my mouse is, that you can only edit the highlighted cells, such as the $1,000 here, or if you scroll down, these numbers here. Okay. Google has this template set up as an example. So we are going to go ahead and start editing these to have a blank slate. We're going to put zeros in for some of these areas so that we can start from scratch on our budget. You'll notice I put 0 in where the 1000 was, and 0 in where the 950 was, 0 in where the 1450 is. And these numbers here that were beside the 950 and the 1450 haven't removed because they are also accounted for on the transaction sheet. That's our next plan of action. We're going to scroll down or move down to the bottom of the page where you notice the Summary tab and the Transactions tab. We're going to click on the Transactions tab. You'll notice there are already some information inputted here, and this is again the Google example. So we want to delete these to set your budget up for you. So we're going to delete the date, put 0 in for the amount, delete the description, and delete the category. And again on the income side, we're going to delete the date, put 0 in for the amount, delete the description, and delete the category. So now you have a blank slate on your Transactions tab. We're going to go back to the Summary page, and this is where we start creating your budget. Click on the Summary tab and scroll up to the very top part of the page. Again, we're going to go over some of the aspects of this budget before we start inputting some numbers. Your starting balance here at the top of your page, you're going to notice that in cell 8L. 8L. This is the current balance in your checking account or your account from which you pay your bills or do your budget at the very beginning of your budget. Not everyone's budget will start on the very first day of the month. Some people start their budget on the 15th or another day that makes sense for you and your income. It is wise to make sure that you budget on the same day each time so that you can keep your accounting straight and in order. So we're going to pretend for this presentation that we have $350 left in the checking account. You'll notice that when I input that starting balance, $350 into the checking account, the starting balance here and the ending balance changed. These will change when your starting balance changes and your ending balance changes. This box here, it says 0% and $0. 0% increase in total savings. As you add money into your savings or you stay under your budget, you'll notice this number go up. That's what we want. $0 saved When we save more money and don't overspend in our budget, this number also goes up. You can put that extra money into your savings account or pay off any debts that you have, or you can leave it in your account for just extra cushion. This next section here, this highlighted section, expenses, planned and actual, income, planned and actual. When we input information into our budget down below, you're going to notice these numbers shift and change. That's expected. It just keeps your eye on a linear basis on what your budget is. So, for this presentation, we're going to pretend that I am a single income home with one person and a dog, because he's my good boy. So, for this presentation, my income will be $2,000. So, for this, I'm going to use my income column first. My paychecks vary. Usually, the first one is about $1,200. Then my next paycheck is about $800, because that's when my medical taxes come out, or to pay for my medical expenses and insurance. So my average income is about $2,000. So I put that in here. To supplement some of my income, I also do some driving services such as Uber Eats or deliveries, Amazon deliveries and things like that. I call them driving services because I'm using my car to do the services for the different companies. So I'm going to change the name of this category, custom category, to driving services. And on average, I tend to make about $500 doing this. So that makes my average income, my planned income, $2,500 for the month. I don't typically have any other income coming in, but if I get a bonus or someone gives me a cash gift, I can put it here in these categories. Now we're going to scroll over to our expenses. This is where our money kind of goes out. So we tend to need to have groceries, have a place to live, have transportation needs. So this is where we account for those. On the left side of the screen, you're going to notice this expenses section. And again, you can name each one of these whatever you would like. So I'm going to list them in order of priority for me. And again, you can change the order to whatever you would like. For home, I'm going to put rent. And my rent is $1,000 for each month. My food bill, groceries, tends to be about $400 for the month. I don't have any birthdays or no gifts that I need to get this month, but if you did, you can plan for it here in this section. Health and medical, I have a doctor's appointment coming up, so my copay is $30. Transportation, I mentioned earlier that I do driving services, so this means that I use gas for my car and I also have to provide maintenance and oil changes for my car. This is all budgeted into this section. So for gas, I typically use about $150, but I budget $200 for my oil changes and any tire and other repair needs that I might have. So for this category, I put $200 for transportation. I order my shampoo online because I like my hair to be luxurious. And so this is a personal item that I don't typically get when I go grocery shopping. So when I order this online, it's about $20, delivery and all. Now I mentioned earlier that I have a good boy dog and he needs his dog food. So for that, I usually budget $30. Utilities for where I live on average is about $250. I don't have any travel plans this month, but if I did, I could put that right here in this section. This would include any expenses that go outside of your normal every month expenses for traveling. Plane tickets, hotel, cabs, any Ubers that you might take, things like that. So this goes into your travel section. If you plan to travel, you can go ahead and put some money into this section to save, or you can allot it into a savings for future travel. Debt. So we want to make sure that we're paying off all of our debt as quickly as we can. Now for me, I have one student loan and one credit card. These equal, for their minimum payments right now, $270. I budget $300 because I'm trying to pay them off as best I can. And if I have any extra money, then I can put it on debt if I need to. You're going to notice there's an other category here. Again, you can name these whatever you'd like. My dog's dreaming. So for this custom category, I'm going to put in entertainment. This is for when I want to go out with friends or go out to a restaurant or go to a movie. For this category, I'm going to budget $50. So my budget is finished. This is the planned, and this is the expected income. So with our budget created, we're going to go to our transactions page and start notating whatever transactions occur throughout the month. Keeping in mind, we're trying to spend less than this amount here. Whoops. $2,280. Our planned income is $2,500. So let's go to the bottom of the page, click on transactions, and start entering some of our information. Had to connect my mouse pad here. All right, so for this date, my rent comes out on the 1st of every month, and it is $1,000. Wanted to show you these categories come up listed as the same thing, same categories you have on your summary page. Remember when I changed housing to rent? For me, it comes up as rent. So this is the category that it goes under. This is one of the expenses. I also go to the grocery store. Wait a minute. I haven't gotten paid yet, so I can't spend money that I don't have. So let's go ahead and add that in. I also get paid on the 1st and the 15th of every month. 3/1/24. My first paycheck is $1,200. First paycheck. This goes under paycheck as a whole category because they're going to be added up complete together. So again, my first paycheck is $1,200. Remember, I started out with $350 left in the account. So I have to understand that I only have so much money between the $350 and the $200 that's left over after my rent gets taken out. Some of my other expenses that come at the 1st of the month are my groceries. For me, I shop every week, so I spend about $100 every week. I also have to get some gas in my car. This goes under the Transportation tab. If you click on these arrows here, you will notice the transportation is here, along with all of the other categories that you've listed. Remember that doctor's appointment that I had coming up? My copay is $30, and I had to see Dr. Indiana Jones. Okay. Some of the other things that I know I will need to pay is my utilities. I have to order that shampoo, and I have to get my puppy his food. So my utilities aren't due until after I get paid again. So I can go ahead and budget for and plan for and spend the money I need to buy my shampoo and my dog food. Remember, the shampoo is a personal item. For me, not everybody uses that as a personal item. It would be clothing or whatever you deem as a personal item. This next one is my dog's food. Can you guess what my dog's name is? His name is Ryder. Okay, so I want to take you back to the summary page to show you how these transactions have interacted with our overall budget. At the bottom of the page, click on Summary, and you'll notice there are numbers that are in these columns here that we've actually spent versus what we have left over. Okay, on the food section, you'll notice, whoops, I highlighted too many. On the food section, you'll notice we budgeted for $400. We've spent $100. There's still $300 left in that section of our budget. Medical, there's nothing left in that section of the budget because we've already spent that, and that's what we've budgeted for. Rent was paid. Transportation, I've spent $50 of the $200 I had allotted, so there's $150 left over. On the income section, notice that my planned income was $2,000. My actual income thus far is $1,200. I'm still waiting on that next paycheck. So we're going to go back over to the transactions page as our month transpires, and we're going to add in that next paycheck. This goes under the paycheck category. There are some more expenses that come out as the month goes on, to include more gas. Oops. And this goes under transportation. I went to the grocery store again. And I had to pay those utilities. Typically my utilities would be $250, but this month it was $262. This goes under the Utilities tab. My friend wanted to go out to dinner, so she and I went out. And I spent $53. Now remember, for me, this goes under the Entertainment tab, going out with friends. So in the meantime, I've been driving around, delivering packages, delivering food, things like that to help supplement my income. So we're near the end of the month, so I get some of that pay, or the pay for that month. 3, 27, 24. I typically get $500 for my delivery services. This month I only got $480. Now remember, my category for this was driving services, so I put it under the driving services tab. I still need some more gas. It goes under the transportation tab. And my last trip to the grocery store. So we're wrapping up the month on our expenses. You may have more expenses that you want to list out, or less, or just different. And so you list out your expenses or your income based in these categories so that they will reflect in the Summaries tab. We're going to click back on the Summaries tab to see what happens to our budget. In our budget, our expenses, we planned on the utilities to be $250. That was over by $12, so you'll notice it's in red here. Also, in the entertainment category, I budgeted for $50 and I spent $53, so I overspent by $3. I want you to notice some of the differences between these columns here. The planned amount is $2,280. The actual amount thus far is $1,880. There's a difference of $400. In the planned amount of income, I planned for $2,500. I actually got $2,480. So for this month, I'm less $20 than I planned. To make sure that I'm budgeting correctly, I want to make sure that my actual income is more than my actual spent. So we're going to scroll back up on this section here. And you'll notice the actual spent versus the planned is less than this here. So this far we've saved $600. To create a new budget, if you have, let me make sure that I have all of my things here. Oh, I didn't pay the debt. So let's go ahead and do that here. One of the other things we can add in is phone. If you forget to add something at the beginning of your budget, with Google Sheets you can add it later on. Just make sure that you're not going over budget. So my phone bill each month is about $50. So in the Transactions tab on the bottom of the screen, we need to make sure that we're paying the debt. So I'm making sure that my debt goes to my student loan and my credit card. And this goes under the debt tab. And then my $50 for my phone bill. This goes under the phone tab. Okay. And again, you can separate whatever debts or whatever transactions that you have. For instance, if your utilities come in a couple of different forms, such as your water bill, plus your trash, or your electricity, or they're all wrapped up into one, you can put as many transactions on here as you would like. On the bottom of this, you'll notice that there are add more rows. You can click on 1,000, or you can make this number 500. You can make it whatever you'd need to. And then you would click add to add more rows. So you have 500 more rows of information. On the summary page, we're going to click back over there. We're going to notice how our budget changes. Since I forgot to add in my phone and I forgot to pay the debt earlier in my expenses sheet, we're going to notice how these things change. The planned was $2,330. I actually spent $2,230, which leaves me $100. So this is to my benefit when I work towards saving, because remember that $350 that I had starting in my bank account at the beginning of the month. Now, when I go to my next budget for next month, I can add that $100 to this balance here and put in $450. My next month's budget will start out with $450. For this month, I've saved a total of $250 from making more than what I spend, on this page, you can also add more columns to your expenses. Again, if you wanted to break them down into various debts or different types of bills that you may have, you can put as many categories here as you'd like. We'll go ahead and add in, again, you can change these categories to whatever you would like. We're going to add in gardener. We pay the gardener $20. So you're going to get a heads up because we don't want to accidentally change something that's not supposed to be changed. So Google Sheets gives you an opportunity to make sure that you're making a good choice for your budget. I'm going to click OK because this is going to shift and change how my budget is created. Again, when you type in, or when you go to the transaction section, we're going to pay the gardener $20. You'll notice this section here, it says gardener. So again, you can add in as many rows or as many sections as you would like. As we click back over to the summary page, just notice that how your budget changes and shifts. So if you like this tutorial, please leave a review and visit my website at jlloydtherapyandcoaching.com, or check out my YouTube channel at jlloydtherapyandcoaching. I hope you've understood everything, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and I would love to help you on any adventures that you would like, be it with your finances or your mental health. Have a great day.